Yo, 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 yo. Okay, look, I'm here this morning. Listen. Let's just get into it. I gotta somehow get this done. Oh my god, my eye before work. But we gonna do this. We gonna get this done. Either way it goes. Thank y'all so much for watching my coverage thus far. You know, I appreciate that. Make sure y'all leave a sub, and yeah, let's get into this.
Better than TV. Hollywood writers can't make this stuff up. Wait until you hear what the eyewitness testimony was this morning at the Tory Lanez. They asked Mr. Kelly, "Do you know why you're here?" He said, "Absolutely." The defense attorney put up a picture of the back of his home. You can see a driveway. They had him draw a square where the SUV was parked. It was right on the curb of the back of his house, 10, 15 feet. His window is overlooking it. He stepped out onto his Juliet balcony and he watched for several minutes as Meg the Stallion and Kelsey, the two females, he didn't identify them by name, got out of the car. They were engaged in a fight. It was scrapping. It was quite aggressive. It started with arguing that woke him up in the middle of the night. Where his house is, often him and his son are woken up in the middle of the night by people who stop in and around the back of his home. This was another night, arguing, escalation, two women fighting. He watched the whole thing while standing on his balcony. Oh my God, it gets crazier. As he looked down on a fight that he described as quite violent, he then saw the larger gentleman, this is presumably the security guard Quan, come and violently try to separate them. Eventually, all four were both involved in what he called an aggressive, everyone fighting, essentially just a melee, a free-for-all between four people in the middle of the night, right outside of his back window. He said at one point he saw one woman go back towards into the car. At that point, he saw a muzzle flash. Then he said there was a man, and after the first few shots from the woman came off, he saw the man getting involved with the woman, and more shots went off. On cross-examination, the prosecutor asked him, "Did you see the man shoot?" He said, "Yes, I saw the shorter man with the gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times. Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified. Then the defense attorney went back and asked him, "I thought you said you saw the woman and then you saw the man shoot." And he's like, "Yeah, you have to understand, it was just a crazy free-for-all and it all happened very quickly." And then he said the most shocking thing that has come out in this case, which is that after the shots went off, one woman crawled further away, that the 3 people then went over there and beat her violently while she was on the ground. They picked her up. They like they were going to drag her and throw her into the river. Instead, they dragged her across the street, put her in the car, and drove off. The prosecution, we're on lunch. The prosecution is going to come back, and basically they're trying to build the case that this witness is lying because he's intimidated by the defense, that he never said anything about the muzzle flash going off near Kelsey, and now he's saying all this because he's scared of telling the truth. We'll see how that comes out on direct. Here's a fact, though. He has been consistent about a couple of things. One, the 2 women were outside that car fighting for several minutes, escalated, started with an argument, then it got quite violent, and the security guard came out to try to separate them. The idea that the jury would credit Meg's testimony, which is just completely contradicted by this eyewitness, is highly unlikely. The prosecution has major work to do to save their case, which is absolutely on life support right now.
What's up, guys? My name is Megan, and I help people move to China. If you like free health care, free transportation, and a free place to stay, and also traveling abroad, hit me up. My name is Megan, and I'm rocking with Homeroom with Smooth.
All right. That's Megan. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Her links will be in the bio of this video. Yeah, we're gonna start this next one. Wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. We starting this next one.
Finished testifying, and then I saw something that we should all be embarrassed about.
My goal today is I'm gonna run through this all as fast as possible. Let him talk all that he needs to, and then I'm gonna talk at the end, and then that's that. So yeah.
In court. And if I'm wrong, there was a lot of people in that courtroom. Kelly testified. The prosecutor got him to say, "Hey, look, I saw the guy, the short guy, with his arms in the air and the gun going off. And it went off about 5 times. And then the defense went up there and said, hey, did you see the woman going towards back into the car? And did you see the muzzle flash go off with her? He said, yes. And was there a struggle and everybody was fighting? And he said, yes. Then I saw the prosecutors asked the judge that if Tory Lanez takes the stand and testify, we want to talk about his rap lyrics. We want to talk about the tattoos of his guns. We want to talk about how he was arrested in 2019 for something and he was arrested in 2020 for something. We want to talk about he's recently been arrested for August Alsina. The prosecutors, the people of the state of California, that's who they represent. That's the name. It's the people versus Daystar Peterson. The people, they don't really want to talk about the case anymore. They don't really want to talk about what happened on that evening with these 4 people in that Escalade. No, now they want to put the man on trial. They want to talk about everything Tory Lanez has ever said and everything that Tory Lanez has ever did. Because if they can't get you the fair way, the right way, they'll get you any way they can. That's what I saw in the courtroom. Tell me I'm lying.
Man, that's crazy that they want to use his rap lyrics against him. Hold on real quick.
Hey, if you're someone that craves vibes when it comes to music, like I do, you need to check out Rose Petals. Rose Petals is a 12-track R&B album by yours truly, Fair Michelle, and it just dropped. It's available right now on all major digital outlets. I'm personally inviting you to come and vibe with me through music. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the home team, the Kosher Sound, and you already know we're supporting and watching Homeroom with Smooth. Let's go.
All right, listen, y'all. Listen. Y'all make sure y'all go listen to that album. Y'all thought I was going to say something.
However, will he still take the stand when there is the threat that the judge will allow the prosecution to discuss all of his rap lyrics, all of his tattoos, every arrest he's ever had, every single person who's ever accused him of assault, every music video where he's ever made misogynistic lyrics, violent lyrics? Can he still take the stand and tell his truth of that night, but withstand the character assassination that the prosecutor has in store? That's what him and his team are discussing right now. That is not supposed to happen in a court of law. Your character is not supposed to be on trial. But tonight, Tory Lanez will decide, gee, can I take the stand and defend myself against these allegations? Yes. Can I take the stand and defend my entire character against every single thing they could possibly throw at me? To be determined.
Oh my God. Okay. So man, I got a chill. My nose got cold real quick. I do want to say this because this is honestly, I'm impressed. This went faster than I thought it would. There's some stuff that was left out, so I'm gonna try and like hit those points of what was left out. So we got let's see. Well, first of all, we have Megan and Kelsey got out the passenger side. They both started fighting. They went to the back of the car. They started fighting. Boom. All right. Because what's left out is the line of questioning where he asks, so when the first shot went off, where were the men? Right? The men were still in the car. So Kelsey and Megan fought. Kelsey went back to the whip, grabbed the gun, fired. Okay? Fired the gun. Then they wrestled the gun away from. Then Tory copped out of the car and wrestled the gun away from her and started shooting it violently in the air. Right? Because I'm assuming, like, once people got to fighting or whatever, maybe they got to fight more. I have no idea. I wasn't there, so I'm not going to try and paint a picture that I don't know. But he did say that's when he started shooting in the air, or his hands, like saying he was shooting everywhere. He wasn't pointing at nobody. He was shooting in the air, right? Because at the end of the day, like, the clip got emptied and it ended up in I keep forgetting the technical term. It ended up open, where the slide is open and the magazine pops out, right? Because it's like, yo, you can pop the magazine out because it's like, yo, I ain't got nothing else. I have nothing else. Like no more bullets. So that happened. Then there's a obviously the scuff over the gun. Then they beat up another woman, and then they drug her to the car, and they got her in the car, right? So if they all beat up Megan like that, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, but I'm assuming it was because they wanted to get her back in the car, and she wasn't going. Like, she was like being resistant or whatever. So they start fighting. Anyway, everybody's drunk. So except for the security guard. So I really don't know why that happened. That's inexcusable. What Tory Lanez is guilty of is probably negligent discharge, which is just shooting a gun. You can't just shoot a gun in the neighborhood, okay? And newsflash to people. You can't fucking do that, okay? That's what he's probably gonna end up being guilty of. Possession of a firearm. It wasn't his gun. Clearly, it wasn't because Kelsey, the one that went and found it, right? Just knew, just went in there and just knew. Um, and then, uh, and then, yeah, Kelsey's guilty of shooting her because I explained this to some other people, and I'll explain this to you guys too. She pointed the gun with intent to kill Megan, right? With intent to kill or harm Megan by shooting her. Therefore, it is only safe to assume that her bullet missed and thus ended up hitting the ground and grazed her. That is safe to assume. What is not safe to assume is that somehow Tory Lanez, by shooting in the air, somehow shot her foot. Like that's not safe to assume. Okay, it's not safe to assume. I argued with some people about this, and I realized that they're stupid, so I just left the group chat. Because they don't want to like even concede any. Like at first I was like, oh, he's not guilty on everything, but then I was like, nah, he's guilty of negligent discharge, right? But their position is, oh, he shot Megan, he hurt Megan, he needs to go to jail for forever. Like I'm like, what? I'm like, if this was you in this position, right? If this was you, same sequence of events, you'd want somebody to be partial to you. But people can't be partial. People can't be non-biased, right? Like, just accept the facts as what the facts are. Accept what people saying as what they're saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are cherry picking tweets for what supports their narrative, which is nuts because the very next tweet literally goes into why that narrative is dumb. Okay, this is a complex situation involving 3 beyond drunk people. All right, 3 beyond drunk people, and a security guard that won't show up. I think honestly, the security guard should have showed up for court. If the security guard would have showed up, that would have really helped Tory's case, because then he would have been able to further explain what happened. But it is what it is. He was also security guard slash driver. It is what it is. Yeah, man. It's not looking. I mean, it looks good, but it's not looking good. And for him to testify, I would say just don't, bro. Just don't. The persecution doesn't care. They're just out to get you at this point. They don't care. They've already shown their hand. This whole investigation was botched because because they're saying like, oh, he didn't say that in the original testimony, right? Him, the girl shooting first. He did say that. He did say that. He did say it in the original testimony. They just didn't read it. They just didn't pay attention to it. They just blindly went forward with, yo, we're going to charge this guy. They didn't even think about the girl. They didn't even try and charge the girl. They're like, yo, we're just going to go after this black man. And that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. Okay. And we already know this. Okay. But anyway, before I get on a soapbox on some other stuff, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all make sure y'all have a good one. I'm out.